Further ado, this film really captivated our programming team. Megan Leonard saw it first and said we had to show it. And it's witty, and it's intelligent, it's honest, it's really true to about, it's so much truth about life, but it just made me smile and made me laugh, and that's what I loved about it. And the director has been working in the film industry and theater for quite some time. This is her directorial debut. One of the actors in the film is here, and you might have seen her in maybe Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and some other films, or maybe Downton Abbey. So it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage, their first time in Seattle. Please give a warm welcome to Chanya Button and Laura Carmichael. Are you guys excited?
Hi. Thank you for having us. We've been up for about 36 hours. I'm very grateful that we seem to be in the coffee capital of America. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming to see our film. It's a great pleasure to be at the film festival here. You're the first US audience that we're sharing the film with. We premiered at London Film Festival in October, and we come out in the UK at the end of the summer. Sorry, very tired. And then we're out. We're going to be out here early next year. So you're getting a very early preview of this film, which we've poured lots of time and love and energy into. And I'm so happy Laura could be here too. And yeah, we really, really hope you enjoy the film. And thank you to Carl for putting us in the festival. So enjoy.
Okay, now the hard part.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it. I want to start off by just talking about the title and the connection to Jack Kerouac and the connection to that, and based on the quote that has burn, burn, burn in it. Can you talk a little bit how that sort of what is there an essence of the story?
Well,
is there a nugget with that or not?
We really did. My best friend from university, Charlie Cavell, wrote the screenplay, and I developed it with her and directed the film. And we both kind of think we're not really huge fans of Kerouac. Because we kind of thought it was a bit sort of self-serious and very earnest and quite male. And on the road, we sort of spent years sort of slightly rolling our eyes when someone said they were reading on the road and having some sort of spiritual awakening from it. However, there are these gorgeous poetic pearls of wisdom, and you can't deny that Kerouac has this sort of visionary way of seeing and understanding the world. So this was one of these things where sort of Seph and Alex, I think, slightly roll their eyes when Dan busts out a Kerouac quote. But it does mean something to them hugely, and it captures something about how they should live their lives. So our use of that quote and its name for the film encapsulates our kind of that sort of very British, like slightly sardonic sort of. I'm not really taking it seriously, but actually no, it is quite perceptive. So
I love that quote, and I sort of love the book, but I definitely remember, particularly at college, rolling my eyes at young men who said they were reading it and were probably going to get it tattooed somewhere on their body.
So in some ways, was it taking it over and giving it a feminist bent and sort of saying, F you to Jack and we're going to make it our own? Because the quote's amazing.
Yeah, kind of. I guess. I mean, I call it like the Catcher in the Rye syndrome. Like, that sort of feeling about Kerouac. But yeah, it was taking something of his and sort of reappropriating it, I guess. But there wasn't too much of an explicit agenda. We just sort of felt like that really spoke to what was happening to our characters, and it is incredibly beautiful. Yeah, the sense of it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's perfect, and I'm very excited when explaining the title to people. I feel like it's a really easy way into summarising this film, which is this sort of beautiful sentiment, but then at the same time going, it's not this great American road trip. It's set in the UK and it's a bit naff, like, but that's funny.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, the Kerouac thing really, I suppose, came from the fact that, I mean, I'm completely in love with American cinema and had spent years watching wonderful American road movies and everything from Thelma and Louise to reading on the road and stuff like that. And it was our kind of slightly naff British ode to that, because you can't drive across America and not have some sort of, you know, existential awakening, because, I mean, you guys have got a mountain like right over there. You can see it from outside the cinema, so I don't know why you're watching this. So you can't be in this like really majestic country and not be affected by nature in that way. And in that very self-deprecating way, I think driving across Britain is absolutely not like that, because Southampton looks exactly the same as Sheffield. But the beautiful thing about the British landscape, as I hope the film captures, is that, you know, moments away from that quite mundane, concrete, aesthetic landscape, which is so lovely, moments away from that, because we're so tiny, you'll be like at a horrible service station, and then suddenly there's something incredibly beautiful. So we've got it's as beautiful, but in this sort of slightly modest way, and we sort of wanted to capture some of that. So that's kind of more of the relationship with Kerouac than the throwaway joke I made earlier about thinking he's a bit of a tosser.
And was this film difficult to get made? I mean, your lead character is dead from the beginning, and you know, it's also sort of the lead character is, well, he's not really the lead character, but he's a man, but it's really this is a female-centric, woman-centric film.
Yeah.
Was it easy to maybe use the Jack Kerouac for like the pitch meetings, sort of fool the financiers to think they were getting something else? But was it difficult to get made?
Yeah, I mean, all films are difficult to get made. Sorry, that's quite a glib answer. It was difficult to get made, but we had a fantastic group of people. We had a brilliant script, and Laura and Chloe and Jack very generously came on board very, very early on and really committed themselves to it. And because we had a fantastic group of people around the project, it became something that felt realistic for people to get behind. I feel like we're very lucky to be from a country where, hard as it is to get your hands on, we have government support for the arts, and you know, it's you know, our country recognises that that's something very valuable. So half our funding, around half our funding came from the BFI and Creative England, who are government-funded bodies who are about sort of supporting emerging talent in the arts. But no, it was really difficult to get made. The fact that it's kind of female-centric played into that a little bit in quite an annoying way. But it was difficult in the way that all independent films are difficult to get made, when I hadn't directed a feature film before and Charlie hadn't written a feature film before, and all of these things. So.
And how did you get Laura to? Did you make her audition, or did you hope she was going to get it?
No.
Did you go to college together? What was the connection? How did you convince her to participate in this sort of independent British film?
We had a chat.
Yeah, I don't know why you thought of me. It's very nice of you to think of me.
It's very different. I mean, it's a very different role.
It's very different, and I don't know why you did that. Thanks. Thank you.
I think it worked out.
Yeah,
I think it worked out.
But you and Charlie, you know, approached me about it, and I loved the script, and it didn't feel like a lot of other things I was reading. You know, it did feel unique and like my life, like the lives of other people I know, you know, our age, and yeah, I felt really excited about it, and I really wanted to do it from the moment that I read it, so I'm delighted.
Thanks. No, I don't always find auditions in that way very helpful, especially for, you know, I think that especially with an actress like Laura, someone who's doing a lot of work, and Laura went to a really prestigious drama school in London as well. You know someone can act, you know someone has those muscles, and so the way I cast the lead characters in the film was by sending the script and and just having a chat. Like, I wanted to talk. I wanted to find out whether we had the same perspective and wanted to say the same thing about being where we are in our lives, and we did. And that's kind of how I think I thought that, and think that she is a wonderful actress, and so sort of, but it was really, we've got a similar perspective, and the fact that you're a brilliant actress was for me a given from before I sent the script, so it was sort of more about.
And then we rehearsed a lot, so there's always a panic when you don't audition, I find, that you'll arrive on the first day and deliver, and someone will go, ooh, that's not what I meant. So we did have time to
We had
rehearse.
The way I like to work is we do a lot of readings of the script and rehearsals, and we invited, Charlie and I invited Laura and Chloe and Jack to be very involved in, if they had any suggestions for their characters in terms of the script and stuff like that. So we had a lot of time together.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing, and we'll ask some questions from the audience, but were you worried that because it's such a serious subject that people weren't going to laugh? And I mean, there are other comedic actors in the film, but was that a worry, or a comedy is so hard, especially, and when you approach it with a serious subject, it's even harder. So how did you overcome that challenge? Because it was funny.
I think that I find, as a director, it's very important to think about your audience when you're developing a film and financing it, because they make you. And so it's really important to think about your audience then. I think it's vital not to be preoccupied by your audience when you're making the thing. And judging from the amount that we made each other laugh while we were making the film, I sort of felt relatively confident about it, because we couldn't make the film but for completely cracking each other up and having a lovely time. The tone of the film is exactly who I am as a person, and exactly who Charlie, the screenwriter, is as a person, exactly where our friendship is. So it's sort of based on a massive bet, a gamble, risk, that other people will find us as hilarious as we do.
So we should take a trip to Mount Rainier tomorrow, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's much more impressive than that minor
You can all
hill.
come with us.
It's really embarrassing.
How about any questions or comments from out in the audience? Oh, there's lots of hands. In the middle, yes, with the SIFF shirt on, so you get to answer first.
How long did it take you to film since you went all over the country?
So how long did it take you to film this since you went?
25 days.
25 long days.
25 days.
Quick. And moving back to the red shirt, yes.
So I'm interested in knowing if the relationship between you and Chloe had any parallels between the relationship of your characters.
So the relationship between you and Chloe had any relation between you and the characters?
I thought if Charlie was here, who's our writer, you would probably see that Chloe and I play versions of Chanya and Chloe, of Charlie and Chanya, in some way. So in that Chloe and I were like, do you think you're Chanya or I'm Charlie? And because there are bits of your friendship in there, I think. And Chloe and I think, are quite similar, and we work in similar ways. And I think immediately we wanted to be very close pals and were, and understood each other. So I think, yes, there was definitely bits of us sort of caring for each other along the shoot that sort of rubbed off on these characters. But I don't.
Yeah, it sounds really cheesy and gross, but we all just became very close. I don't think. Because we all had a lovely time and became really close with one another, and so there was loads that were similar. I think that's right.
Over on this side, then we'll move back. Yes.
I was pleasantly surprised to see Jane Asher and Nigel Planar in the movie. What were they like to work with?
So Jane Asher and Nigel Planar was surprised, or pleasantly surprised that they were in the film. What were they like to work with?
They're really difficult. A nightmare. I won't speak to either of them ever again. They were amazing. They were really great. They're like, Nigel Planar is a British comedy icon Jane Asher is just elegance incarnate. Like, it's unbelievable. They gave us loads of really great life advice.
Yeah.
Jane in particular took me out for lunch and just told me how to sort the rest of my life out. Like, she was great. They were wonderful, they were really great. They were with us for a couple of days, but it was a glorious couple of days.
Yeah, and at the beginning, we did sort of start at the beginning, which was nice. And yeah, it was lovely to see how excited they were about the project as well, and how supportive they were of everyone at the beginning, because they did feel like these big legends on that. Yeah, who were going to join
they
us.
were with us the first couple of days of the shoot, so it felt like they were like, they sort of set us off on our way. It was really lovely.
How about farther back? Is there someone farther back? Okay, go. Whoever said yes. Somewhere back there. We can't see, so go ahead. Or not. Okay, I'll go closer. Yes, there, yes.
Were there any scenes that you cut out that were really funny?
So are there any scenes you cut out that are funny or not that you wish you could have included, or will be on
The ones that are
the...
in it are still funny though, right?
a travelogue, documentary, or... No.
Only the
There's
stuff we
one.
filmed of each other.
Yeah,
I'm-
but
Not anything that's funny, that's why it's not in the film.
there, we did it. There was a
fart joke.
There was a fart joke.
No, I mean, try shooting a film in 25 days, you've not got a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. You know, there's bits and
Just a
pieces.
fart joke.
Just one single fart joke, that's all you missed, guys. There are no DVD extras.
Now, who did that piss off? Anyways. Okay, in the front, because I can see it. Yes?
What was your favorite place to film? Because I know you think it would be beautiful here, but I actually think that probably Wales and most of rural England are fascinating.
She loves rural England, Scotland, Wales. So what was your favorite place to film?
Well, Scotland was beautiful by the end. Oh, and you know, as we went further north, our hotels got nicer. No, we were staying in.
Not that much nicer.
It was
That's
kind of
very
nice.
generous.
Travel lodges to begin with, and then beautiful in
Oh,
the
yeah,
cabin
Scotland was
in
great.
Scotland.
We were
Yeah.
basically all in this massive cabin by Loch Lomond, and
It was
dreamy.
beautiful. And then also the American diner on the side of the motorway was also really fun, because they did these sort of really big breakfasts, and all of the crew thought it'd be really fun to challenge each other to who could eat the most. And there was a very hot.
The chili thing.
Yes.
You got like Man versus Food.
It
Right?
was
Is
that.
that a really outdated reference for you guys? We like Man versus Food, that show.
It's too hot to eat. It's
Well,
too
they had all
spicy.
these food challenges at this American diner, which is on the side of the road in York. It couldn't be any further away from anything American. And it was this American diner, and it was literally on the side of a road just outside York. And they had all these food challenges on the menu. And we started shooting there at like 5 in the morning or something absurd. And all the boys like challenging each other to like, eat 50 chicken wings at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then one of them, they started doing this chili challenge thing. I'm a very, like, that's a lie, I'm not an easygoing director. I was so, that was the most cross I got. So I was like, well, you're all useless because you're all weeping. Because you've had too much chili. So,
Our second
You're
AD
dead
was
to me.
hallucinating. That's no joke.
he had to have 4 milkshakes.
It went wrong. But it was quite funny. So I enjoyed it.
Okay, whoever shouted out, go ahead.
I was saying to the right, guys.
Okay, go to the right. Yes, over there.
What is the slang term for lesbian that she uses in the shop?
What was the slang term for lesbian that
We
she used in
can't
the
say
slot?
that. We can say it in the film. Which, as in who says it? As in the guy who says it to her?
Alex says that, no, I'm a bender.
Bender. I'm a massive bender, mate. Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
I thought you were saying about something else.
yeah. I'm a massive bender is the line.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Yes.
So there were a lot of decisions in the film from the characters that were really impulsive and they ended up, changing their lives at the end. Have you ever made an impulse decision that completely changed your life?
So So the question about the impulsive decisions that the characters made. So, are there impulsive decisions you've made in your life that have affected you that way? And Laura, what are the impulsive decisions you've
I
made?
ask a tough question.
Coming
That's a
to
good
Seattle.
Coming to Seattle was impulsive.
No, not impulsive. Just like, we can stay up for over 24 hours and do this. This is going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's okay still.
It's great. We're having a lovely time.
I think it's the sort of romantic impulsiveness. I can understand. I can read into, and I won't give you too
Romantic
much
impulsiveness?
information about that. But yeah, when I read that about Seph, I was like, that happens. I've done that. I know girls that you make these bad moves every now and then.
Are you single?
No.
How about your romantic impulsiveness?
Romantic.
Yes.
I'm terrible. I've got a horrendous time. End of statement.
Back there, yes.
What possessed you to do the Alex on the cross scene?
So the Alex on the cross
What
scene.
possessed me?
Yeah, what possessed you? The Church of England.
Lovely turn of phrase.
Possessed is what she said.
Yeah, no, I heard. Well, it's sort of oddly the life of Brian. That.
Good answer.
Yeah, that. I don't know. It was this moment where she is a person who is sort of quietly having a breakdown from the opening frames of the film in a way that even her best friend can't quite notice the extent of that. She definitely knows there's a lot wrong, but she doesn't know how deep that goes, even though they're incredibly close and care about one another a lot. And there are certain things that, it's a visually very bold thing to do, I get that, but like there are certain things that she just wouldn't and couldn't say unless she was incapacitated physically. And so that's where it came from, this sense of she would only release in that way if she was, tied to a cross.
And the last few questions before, yes.
So the weird little cult with the burning.
Sure.
Is that based on something?
So the cult, the weird burning cult. Was that
My
based on
Wednesday
something?
nights. that when they're on that part of the journey, they've just been at Glastonbury Abbey, and that's Somerset in the UK, and that part of the West Country has a very rich cultural heritage of like paganism and superstition and stuff like that. That's where Glastonbury Music Festival is, and that's kind of really hippie, and people get married in the stone circle there, and it's near Stonehenge, and there's lots of kind of myth and you know, bonkers superstition around that area. So that's, you know, crazy hippies in England go to West Country. So it's sort of a bit of a nod. It's sort of a bit of a nod to like that kind of obscure bit of English culture that's in that particular part of the UK. But nothing super specific. I just thought it'd be fun to burn a
Any more?
Down here.
Down here? The second question from this SIFF t-shirt guy.
So I noticed the two characters kind of, one came out of its shell and the other character was retreating into her shell until the Scotland trip. How did you emphasize that as an actress in the part? How did you know where to, did you just feel it when you were reading the script? Or?
So the question about how one character sort of came out of his shell and one sort of didn't. How did you know as an actress to when to sort of blossom?
I just felt very supported and guided by the script, and Charlie and Chanya sort of orchestrated these big scenes to support these moments of revelation for the characters. So whether that be the sort of nightclub nonsense that goes on with Seph or the being tied to a cross with Alex. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, it was so thoughtful, the sort of scene and journey of all of these characters. So I felt it felt quite organic, if that sounds not too naff, to sort of, I didn't feel like we were finding or pushing for a moment that needed to go bigger.
Yeah, we'd taken a couple of years to really fine-tune and develop the script, so we had a really clear sense of what the character arcs were, and then we had we had a sort of rehearsal process that was, I've done a lot of theatre too, as has Laura, so we sort of, it was over it was like a month we rehearsed over, sort of around it. So we, even though it was a very, like a lightning fast shoot, and with all the pressures that come with that, we had a really clear sense of the shape of things going into it. So, yeah.
We have Matilda, one last question. So, do you want to pick one?
There's one up there.
Back there, yes. Go ahead. So, what are you doing next? Tell us about what's coming up next, so where we can find you on the big screen or small. Or here in Seattle.
I don't know what I'm going to do next. I know I filmed.
Well, Laura's just been in an amazing show in the West End called The Maids.
I was doing The Maids. Thank you very much.
And she completely smashed it. It was great. So you've been like
I've been doing that.
Locked in a dark room for months.
Yes.
But you're done with that.
I'm done with that.
We can't see it anymore.
United Kingdom is an exciting film that should be, I think, out September, October time, with the lovely Rosamund Pike and David Oyelowo. I've got a real stretch in that I'm playing her slightly plain sister in a period drama. So look out for that one. No, it's going to be really brilliant. It's a really amazing story. It really is. It's sort of a political story and a love story, and they're both brilliant in it, and I loved doing that. So that's out, I think, at the end of the year. And also Marcella, which is a crime drama, which I think is on Netflix already, or might be coming to Netflix soon, which is the same writer that wrote The Bridge, which is that Swedish Scandi noir thriller. So it's one of them.
That's like a series, or is that a...
That's a series,
Yeah.
so just finished that as well. So I think that should be on soon.
And what about you, Chanya?
I am doing various things. I'm making another film later this year that's like doing a lot of sci-fi at the moment, which is interesting me. But I love it. Making sort of children of many type sci-fi, with a departure from Burn, Burn, Burn. And I'm writing a TV drama for Channel 4 that's a kind of another sort of Black Mirror-y sort of thing. Maybe another film, being like woefully non-specific, because I can't.
And what's happening with Burn, Burn, Burn? Has it been released in the UK yet? Has it come out already, or what's going to happen with it? I know you can't say.
We are having a theatrical release in the UK at the end of the summer, which is wonderful. We're really, really excited about that. And then we are going to be on a prolific VOD platform in America beginning of next year.
So we'll be able to find it.
You'll be able to watch it as many times as you like, and tell all your friends. So yeah, we know that we're going to. It's wonderful for us because we've got theatrical releases across Europe, and then we know that the rest of the world are going to be able to. Watch it, which is awesome for a film of this sort of size and scale. It's like the dream for us to, it's amazing to be in theatres. Of course, that's the dream, but films like this don't always make it into theatres. So we're really excited that, that it's going to reach a really, really wide audience. So, and we're really happy that you got to see it. You got to see it in advance of all that. So thank you so much for coming.
So I want to thank you. It's one of those things where we watched a lot of films, and you never know. It used to be you put a VHS in, and then it was the DVD, and then the Blu-ray, and now it's the link. Click the link. You never know what you're going to see, and this film just captivated so many of us on the programming team that we absolutely loved it, and so we're so thrilled that you're here. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. Congratulations. And we hope to have you both back. Come back to Seattle. Don't get lost in the mountains. Thank you so much.